The American road trip is older than the American road. It's been over 100 years since early adopters of the automobile pushed their vehicles into the wagon-tracked West, when paved roads hardly reached beyond city limits and interstates were non-existent. Peter Blodgett has acquired some travel journals from these early road trips, and they are dense with photos. In the 19th century, Oregon Trail journals and Gold Rush diaries were written by hand, and the photography of that period required professional skills and cumbersome equipment. These diarists used newly available portable cameras to record a first-person experience that captured more information than they perhaps intended. They caught glimpses of a 19th century way of life that would utterly disappear in the coming decades. These scrapbooks are a liminal bridge between the Oregon Trail and the interstates, documenting the West as it went from frontier to federal.
As a good historian, I always have to counsel people to be careful about whether you fully accept something that has been prepared for publication, because of course there's so many layers that exist between the original experience and the published recapitulation of it. And this has been true of the Huntington since Henry's time. We always strive to collect the materials that document an experience or a process or an event as close to the moment as possible. What we have is a collection of original scrapbooks, photo albums, and essentially travel accounts that were created between roughly 1915 and 1940 by different individuals who had decided they were going to travel about the American West. It's quite often mentioned by writers of accounts of these motor trips that they are resurrecting the life of the pioneer overlander from 50 years, 75 years previously. There are references to gasoline-powered prairie schooners and to motorized covered wagons, and there's certainly a good deal of truth to that. There's, I think, always a desire to establish one's place on the landscape. In the middle of the 19th century, there's a large geologic outcropping called Independence Rock, which still exists, and hundreds and eventually, I suspect, thousands of people left their mark on Independence Rock. They used axle grease, they used tar, they used paint if they had it, they chiseled, they carved, but they left their name. And I think that's a tremendous example of the desire of human beings to say, I was here. Yes, we didn't just tell you about it, we didn't just send you a postcard, we were here, this is what we experienced. And there's definitely a great hunger on the part of motor travelers to demonstrate this in a way that really wasn't possible until the age of the portable handheld camera. The creation of the handheld small camera, the box brownie, Kodak's moments, really is an enormously powerful change. And that's what these albums, these scrapbooks represent. And so it's a merger of technologies, the automobile, the camera, eventually, of course, the radio will join in this, and then our modern world begins to take shape. the technology of the automobile, as it becomes reliable for long-distance travel, gives those Americans a chance to escape from the urban setting. And they've never had the opportunity to do so in greater numbers and to cover greater distance. The automobile is giving them an opportunity, using the epitome of modern industrial technology, to escape from industrial society into undeveloped, in some cases nearly unexplored landscape. And how these type of very detailed photographic volumes show us the change in the communities through which travelers pass, the roads over which they journey, the changes in the landscape as the infrastructure for the automobile spreads further and farther north and south and east and west. I think all of these are aspects of the development of the American West that I'd like to document.